Hey guys, what's up? I am so excited for today's training. Let me know if you're tuning in right now where you're watching from. Let me see. I'm going to check out how many people we have on. Cool. Looks like we've got one. So let me know where you guys are watching from. I'm so excited for today's training. This is going to be different than my normal trainings because I'm going to be on here live the whole time. I'm not switching over to slides. So it's going to be a lot more interactive than normal. So if you're tuning in right now, welcome. You guys, I am listening to the High Vibe Money Vibe playlist right now. Currently, Truth Hurts by Lizzo. Who else is obsessed with this song? I've been obsessed with it now for a couple months. Makes me feel my most high vibe self for sure. Okay, so let me know in the chat right now where you guys are watching from. Got to make sure everything is going well. So we're a couple minutes early still. I like to always start a couple minutes early because I don't want anybody to think that I have forgotten about you. Okay, let me know where you're watching from, guys. Welcome. I'm so excited. Like I said, today, and maybe I will link to if you didn't receive the link to the High Vibe Money Manifestation playlist yet, I will link to that in the chat in a little bit. I'm playing it in the background right now. It's getting me very excited for this. Hi, Ashley. Fort Collins, amazing. I went to CSU. I don't know if you knew that. Is this my sister? Who is this? My sister's name is Ashley, and she's from Colorado, so maybe she's watching. I have no idea. But it looks like quite a few of you guys are on already. So I'm just going to get right into it. I know we're a couple minutes early, but I don't want to waste your guys' time. This is going to be a really, really fun and interactive live training tonight. I'm going to turn off the Lizzo right now because she is distracting me. Normally, if you guys have been on any of my trainings before I switch over to slides, I'm not going to do that tonight. I'm going to be on here live the whole time. So if you have questions, at any point, feel free to leave them in the chat. And then at the end, I'm going to go back through. So if I don't answer it right away, don't be offended. I don't really look at the chat too much as I'm going through the content because I don't want to get too distracted, but I will come back and answer all of the questions at the end. So leave them in there if you have any. Hi, Emma. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Kim. Hi, Ashley. Oh, same Ashley. Hi, Nuha. Awesome. Okay, cool. Well, grab a beverage, settle in. Let's just take a collective deep breath. I don't know if you guys had a busy, stressful, crazy day today. Anybody else? Deep breath in, let it out. I'm so excited. This is going to be so fun. And like I said, I haven't really ever talked a lot about, lately on my Instagram stories I have, but I haven't really had a whole training on money mindset before and money manifestation. So that's going to be the first part of today's training. Again, simple yet effective ways to raise your frequency and start calling in the clients, the students, and the money that you desire. And then I'm also going to be talking about step-by-step where to focus your energy when it comes to your online business. So it's going to be really two-part. The beginning is more mindset, manifestation, money, stuff like that. And then the second part, because I know a lot of you guys are business owners that are kind of at the beginning, I'm going to be really sharing the step-by-step. Like if I had to go back to square one and had no following and was starting my business over again, what I would do now as somebody who's built a over $500,000 business, what I've learned getting here and what I would go back and focus more time on and what I would not waste time on. Because those are really important, especially if you're starting at the beginning. I'm also going to be sharing 5 ways to start generating money quickly in your online business that do not include online courses. I do love online courses, but I want to give you guys some other ideas and that don't include MLMs or anything like that. So again, I want this to be really interactive, and make sure you stay until the end because I have an amazing promo bundle thing for you, for everybody who's on live. But you do have to stay until the end to get that. So stay until the end. Now, let me know in the chat right now, how many of you guys are struggling with your money situation? And I'm not necessarily saying like, are you in debt? I'm just saying like, do you feel like you have any sort of negative money mindset? Do you feel like a real gross feeling in your stomach every time you look at your bank statement? Do you feel every time you swipe your credit card, are you like, oh, I can't believe I'm spending money on this? Do you still have negative money mindset beliefs? Like you think that all rich people are greedy, things like that. Let me know in the chat. Just give me a yes, that's me, or me, I'm struggling, something like that. Yes, in scarcity mode, definitely. Scarcity mode, 100%. I feel like this is so common. So don't feel like you're alone if you said yes. It is something that I've struggled with a huge part of my life that I still work on daily to overcome. Because my kind of negative money mindset belief is like, you have to work really hard to make money. You have to hustle. You have to be working all the time to make money. And like, the truth is that is just bullshit. Because at a certain point, like, there are only so many hours in the day, and it is possible to, keep scaling without spending more time. Time is not equivalent to how much money you're making. Struggling, definitely. Believe that you're greedy if you have money. For sure. Yeah, I hear you guys. Okay, so now how many of you guys are also either or? You could be either struggling with that or you're struggling to monetize your online business right now. So maybe you have a passion that you want to pursue as a business, but you're kind of struggling with either getting clients, making course sales, figuring out like what direction to even go. Give me a hell yeah, or that's me, or something like that in the chat if that sounds more like you. Because obviously those are two huge pieces. And the reason why in my business now I'm kind of transitioning more to talk about mindset stuff is because like there are all of the strategies out there on like ways to make money. I would be willing to bet that most of you guys like know of them or know where you could find them. And we kind of have these at our fingertips, but still there's something that's keeping us stuck. There's still like this mindset piece, either like we don't think we're worth it, or we have these blocks around what it means to have a lot of money that maybe are subconscious even, but they are blocking us from bringing in an income. Yeah, Natalie, yes. Mindset is so key. Okay, so we're going to start, like I said, with the money mindset part of things. So I'm going to say something that is going to blow your minds, hopefully. And that is about the most powerful manifestation tool in the world. Let me know in the chat if you have a guess of what you think this is. Drum roll, please. I'm going to take a sip of water. Hopefully you guys have a beverage. Okay, the most powerful manifestation tool in the world is your energy, which I hope gives you some encouragement, because it means that like you don't have to actually go out and necessarily do anything. Manifestation isn't necessarily about what you're doing, although affirmations, visualizations, things like that are great. It's about who you're being. Manifestation is about becoming what you want, or the vision of yourself that you want. So understanding your unique energy is the key to finding your destiny, your life purpose. Everything that you need is already within you. You just need to learn how to use it. So a lot of what this mindset work of part of today, that didn't really make sense, is going to be all about easy ways, like right now, you can do this after we get off the training, to raise your frequency, to start calling in the money that you desire. Because the bottom line is, a lot of us are operating from either a low vibrational state, and if you're aware or familiar with like attracts like, so if you're operating from this kind of low vibrational state, which could look like literally low physical energy, it could also look like negative mindset, negative money beliefs, money blocks, just feeling down, like kind of the low vibrational emotions. If you're feeling those a lot of times, I totally forgot where I was going with that. Give me one sec, looking at my notes. Okay. Yeah, so most of us have some deeply ingrained money blocks and negative money beliefs that are keeping us from making the money that we desire. So like I said, a lot of these money blocks, a lot of them can even be subconscious, but a lot of them kind of look like, it takes a lot of work to make money, or money is the root of all evil. Whoever has heard that? Money doesn't grow on trees, or, even thinking that this is a common one that I see. If you look at anybody online who's doing something that either you're doing, maybe they have like the exact same type of business, or is doing what you want to be doing, and you look at what they're doing and you think to yourself like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that they're charging that. Like, that is also a negative money belief. And I will be the first one to admit that I have thought that before. Or I've also thought like, who are they to be, flaunting their designer bags, whatever. Any sort of thought like that, just become aware of it, because it is indicating that you still, and again, I am speaking from experience here, you still may have some negative beliefs around what it means to have money that could be blocking you. So the first part is like becoming really aware of those thoughts. Okay, so, and I'm going to check in with the chat. Yes, awesome. Okay, Cool. So again, I'm not going to really look at the chat too much because it does distract me a little bit. Obviously, I'm kind of all over the place. So I'm going to come back at the end and answer all the questions in there at the very end. Okay, cool. So I am going to pick a number and I want you to tell me in the chat what kind of feeling, if you had that amount of money in your bank account right now, what kind of feelings you would feel. So let's say I'm your fairy godmother and I am depositing $100,000 into your bank account right now. Ding, there it is. What kind of emotions do you feel? Like, take a second to really feel that in your body, like what that would feel like. Pretend as much as you can that that is real. I wish I could do that. Okay. A lot of the feelings that are common to feel. So again, put these in the chat right now. Maybe you feel a sense of security. Maybe you feel freedom, like, oh my gosh, that means I can quit my job. That means I can go on that sick vacation, whatever. Maybe you feel a sense of gratitude, abundance, safety. That's a big one for me. I feel like that money provides a feeling of safety to me. Maybe you feel relaxed. Tell me, you got $100,000 in your bank account. How are you feeling? That's fucking awesome, right? Okay, cool. So now I want you to think about, hopefully you at least thought about those feelings of having $100,000 in your bank account. Now I want you to think about how you currently feel when you look at your bank account or you swipe your credit card, you pay your rent, you pay your invoices, whatever. How do you feel when you look at your current money situation? A lot of times I'll hear from people that they feel anxious, stressed, nervous. Let me know in the chat how you normally feel. If you don't feel any of those things, that's awesome. But I'm willing to bet if you're on this training right now, maybe there's a little bit of a disconnect between how you feel when you have $100,000 extra in the bank versus how you currently feel about your money situation. So oftentimes for most of us, probably there's a huge disconnect there, right? And this is the thing. Money is energy. Money is a vibration. That's all that it is. So the law of attraction, like I said before, states that like attracts like. So if you feel like shit about your current money situation, what do you think is going to be attracted to you? Probably not an extra 100K in the bank, right? Gonna check the sick to my stomach, uneasy, pissed because I work my ass off. Yes, I get it. Okay. So take 1 second. Okay. So I want you to think about this now. What if you already were the best in the world at the thing that you want? So I'm assuming, and let me know in the chat right now, like there's probably something that you're working towards. Maybe it's a business goal. Maybe it's a monetary goal. Maybe it's a health related goal, something that you're trying to manifest. Maybe it's a relationship. What if you already were the best in the world at that thing? So maybe you want to be the CEO, the millionaire, the amazing life coach, health coach. What would you do? What would you be doing differently in your life right now? So I'll give you an example in my life. If you guys have been following me for a while, I used to, and this is like nothing bad. I'm not like shitting on myself here, but I used to like not really care about how I showed up, like my physical appearance. Because I really, truly, the depth of who I am, my authentic truth is like, I don't think that matters. I don't really think that what somebody looks like matters. And so I would show up to live trainings like this and I'd like not have my hair done, not have my makeup done. And then I kind of realized that like when I envisioned my next level self, the version of me who is a millionaire, who is a boss bitch, killing the game, like manifesting everything that I want, helping thousands of women build their businesses, changing the world, I show up and I look the part. And that's why I got dressed up today. I'm wearing my nice new shirt. I did my hair. I put on some jewelry because it makes me feel like that next level version of myself. So this doesn't have to be, if like you could totally, this could not feel relevant to you at all. But I'm just saying for me as somebody who really doesn't think this like matters, it was something that I realized was subconsciously blocking me because I was showing up in sweats and like not really embodying that next level version of myself. So I want you to ask yourself, like, how would you act? How would you talk? How would you, walk through life if you were already the best in the world at something, or you already had those things that you're trying to call in? Because it's really a choice to it's kind of the idea of like faking it till you make it, acting as if. This creates this huge energetic shift in the universe that says to the universe, I'm ready. I am ready for the next step. And it also shows the universe that like you have faith and trust that everything is already on its way to you. And especially if you can kind of evoke that feeling, like I talked about before, of like feeling the feeling inside of what it would feel like to already have that money in your bank account, that creates a huge energetic shift that says, I'm ready. Okay, so it is a practice. I know it's not always easy to feel those high vibe feelings all the time. So I'm going to go through the top 10 ways to increase your vibration, to call in the cash money, the clients, the students, whatever it is that you're trying to manifest, to do it quickly. And like, you don't really need anything. So it's going to be super easy. It's going to be really fun, because if you want to become, that rich as fuck boss babe who is like calling in all the money easily, filling up your courses easily, selling out your client sessions, whatever, your energy has got to be high vibe as well. So let me know. I picked 100,000, but like drop a number in the chat right now that feels, because this is the thing too, and I'm going to talk about affirmations in a minute. Affirmations don't really work if your conscious mind is like, nah, that's not true. So leave a number, maybe 100,000 is like, feels too high. Leave a number that feels like would give you those feelings of safety and security that we talked about before, but that also feels like, that might be a little bit hard, but I think it's doable for me. Like, tell the universe that's what I'm ready for. Put that in the chat right now. Okay, cool. This is something really cool too. So the energy or the vibration of wealth and success is high. And that is also another reason why, like, you need to raise your vibe to match that vibe, because really the ability to achieve success and wealth is the ability to hold more energy, essentially. Like, that's all it is, holding more energy. So again, if you're operating from always a low vibe state, are you going to call in success and wealth and walking through the world like a confident boss? Like, probably not. Okay, gotta get a sip of water. I thought about having the high vibe money playlist in the background, but then I thought that might kind of distract me, because I already get so distracted so easily. Okay, but this leads me into my first high raise your vibe tip number 1, which is music. You guys, music is literally the easiest, quickest way to raise your vibration. Also dancing. Dancing is huge. If you've been watching me on Instagram stories lately, I love a good dance party, because it's like immediate. If you put on your favorite song, like, just try to not be in a good mood and get your vibe raised. So certain vibrations of music, actually, I think it's like megahertz or something like that. I think 528 megahertz. If you can just look on like Spotify or Apple Music, that vibration of music has been scientifically proven to change your energy, change the vibration of your energy. So that's huge. It's easy. It's free. Start implementing these 10 steps. You can pretty much do every single day. So make sure you have something to write down all of these tips. I forgot to remind you about that. Even if you just have like the notes app on your phone, write all of these down so you can start implementing them. So music, that's number 1. Number 2, I know I've got a lot of health coaches that follow me, so please don't make me mad about this, but caffeine. I had a coffee before this. I know that that's like, it's kind of a crutch, right? Like, to rely on caffeine. So I'm not saying like go overboard, but every once in a while, if like you want to just get to like that next level and like get some shit done and raise your vibe quickly, caffeine works. And if that's too intense for you, you can also try matcha. I'm a big fan of matcha too. It doesn't make you, if you are sensitive to caffeine, it won't make you like quite as shaky. So that is definitely important. Or like, you guys know, if you have like some important thing to get done, having a little bit of caffeine just gives you the boost that you need. You know what I mean? Okay. The next thing, number 3, and also you guys, I'm going to keep checking. Oh yes, I love seeing those numbers. 120,000, 10K, 5K, 30K, 150K. Yes. I love it. Okay, you guys are amazing. Okay, so tip number 3, also I was going to say, if I start talking too fast, just let me know in the chat if I'm going too fast, because I get really excited, as you can tell, and I start talking really fast. Okay, tip number 3 to raise your vibe is gratitude. So gratitude, you guys, if you listen to my podcast, you've heard me say this before. It's the ultimate state of receiving. Like, if you can't do anything else to start manifesting the money that you want, start with being grateful for anything. Like, think of literally anything in your life. And the easiest thing that you can always say is your health. Like, if you are well enough to be on this live training today, if you're well enough to wake up in the morning and check your phone, that is something huge to be grateful for, because if you don't have your health, you literally don't have anything else. So gratitude, this is the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, is I write down, I try and do like 30 things that I'm grateful for. And they can be big things like, the love of your family, but they can also be little things like this crystal, like whatever makes you happy. Okay. Tip number 4 for raising your vibe is to clean up your living space, the place, especially the place that you work. So I am going to be honest with you guys. I am not a very tidy person at all, but I always make sure that my desk area is really clean, and I've got my crystals out, and I've got, it's like because this is really a sacred space. This is where I do all of my work. This is where I hopefully am changing people's lives, things like that. So this area to me is very, very important. So clean up the space that you work. Your next level self doesn't want to be hunched over working, from the bed. If you guys have been following me since I lived in a tiny hut, we didn't have anywhere to like actually work in there. So I would be like hunched over on my bed, like trying to get work done. And it was so uncomfortable. It was hot. It was not a high vibe. It was not a place that I was really like doing my best work. Okay. So get some crystals, get a nice candle, things that smell good, have it be clean. It's seriously going to make a difference. I promise you. Okay. Megahertz, that's like, I think it's just HZ. So just like Google 528 HZ for the music, and it'll come up with like a bunch of songs that'll raise your vibe. Okay, next tip number 5 to raise your vibe is to be generous without expectation. So this could look like leaving a generous tip, buying coffee for the person in front of you. It really just tells the universe, like, I am operating from an abundant state. I have more than enough. And that type of energy is what calls in more money. So whatever you can do to be generous, it doesn't have to be a huge thing. But like I said, buying a $3 coffee for the person in front of you, and giving them some caffeine too, leaving a tip, helping somebody out, anything like that. Okay. Tip number 6 to raise your vibe is to actually spend your money in a way that improves your life. So a lot of times, if you guys are like me, I tend to come from my money mindset is more on like the hoarding side. Like I used to be really afraid to spend money on anything, because I was living in kind of scarcity mode of like, if I spend any money, like I'm never going to get it back. The energy of money is to be circulated. And so that doesn't mean like going out and blowing it on whatever. It means going out and being conscious and thoughtful on the things that you are spending money on. Because if you're spending money on something that improves the world or improves your life, if it makes, if it helps you up level, if it makes you happy, if it makes life easier for you, maybe it's a new course, maybe it's hiring that coach, maybe it's hiring a housekeeper to come clean your space. Maybe it doesn't even have anything to do, well, I am talking about spending money, so it does have to do with money, but everybody's spending money every single day, right? So it's more just about being conscious and making sure that you're spending on things that are going to improve your life. And so this could even look like just being aware of looking at like what you've spent money on in the last month and see what you're paying for that like doesn't contribute to your best self. So maybe that's something like, maybe you're going out every weekend and spending a lot of money on alcohol, and you realize that like the whole next day you feel like shit. Like that would be something that's not really a conscious way that you're spending money. I'm not saying that that's always true. Like sometimes it is actually benefiting you to go out and have drinks and it's a great time. So I'm not talking like badly about alcohol. I'm just saying this is an example. But spending in a way that makes your life better, that up levels you, that takes you to your next level self. That is one way to show, again, the universe that like you are ready to make more money, make the world a better place. And this is also kind of how we reframe the mindset of thinking that like people with a lot of money are greedy and selfish and materialistic and that's all they care about. Because listen, if you're a good person and you have a shit ton of money, that is only going to magnify the good that you can do in the world. It's not, the money itself is not good or bad. It's what people do with it. So yes, mic drop. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Tip number 7 is to do one thing every day that helps. So you know how before I was talking about that extra $100,000 in your bank account, and how it makes you feel? So that feeling, what is one thing that you can do per day that contributes to you feeling that good? Feeling good as hell, as Lizzo would say. So maybe, let's pick relaxed. That was, something that I think came up of, if you had $100,000 or whatever number in the bank, you would finally feel relaxed, right? So what is another way, before that money's there, what is another way that you can start to feel relaxed every single day, while that money is on its way to you? Maybe that means meditating in the morning. Maybe that means taking some magnesium every day. I love magnesium. It helps me feel relaxed. Maybe it means, working out. Like it could mean anything. And maybe it's something that you spend money on. Maybe it's just some sort of technique that helps you cultivate that feeling. Because remember, that feeling, evoking that feeling and telling the universe that you feel that feeling before the money is there is actually what calls it in and attracts it to you and magnetizes it to you. And listen, if you are doing one thing per day that makes you feel abundant as fuck, you better watch out, because everything you want is going to be on its way to you. Awesome. Thank you, Emma. Okay. I've got to stop getting distracted by the comments. Almost done with the high vibe tips. Okay. Tip number 8, affirmations. So you guys know I love affirmations. If you listen to my podcast, you know I have a whole PM affirmations where it's me saying affirmations. You can retrain your subconscious mind to start thinking that way. But the thing about affirmations, like I said before, is that if your conscious mind doesn't really believe what you're saying, if your conscious mind is like kind of calling bullshit on you and is like, I don't really think that's true. So an example of this would be like, for example, maybe your affirmation is, I am so happy and grateful that I made $100,000 this month. And then your conscious mind is like, you've never done that before. Like, why are you saying that? That hasn't happened. That's not true. The affirmations aren't really going to work that well for you. So what can work better is turning your affirmation into kind of a question, because this is the thing. When you pose a question to your subconscious mind, so instead of the affirmation that I just said, changing it to be something more like, holy crap, how did I make $100,000 this month? Not only does the vibration of that change, because one of them is like, oh my God, how did I make that in 1 month? So that in itself is going to help you manifest more effectively. But also when you pose a question to your subconscious mind, it automatically starts looking for the answer to that question. It starts looking for a way to provide you with an answer, to bridge that gap between what you're saying and what your reality is. So turn your affirmations into a question. And like I've been doing this lately, and I've been waking up in the middle of the night with like new course ideas, new business ideas, new ideas of like how I can reach more people, how I can make more money, all these different types of things. So it really, really works. I definitely recommend trying it. And by the way, you guys, if this live training is beneficial to you right now, make sure to like IG story it, maybe do like a boomerang and tag me. That would be really fun so people can see what you're up to. Okay. Tip number 9 for raising your vibe. Again, if you guys have any questions, be sure to leave them in the chat and then I will get to them at the very end. Is visualization. So visualization, I kind of talked about this before, visualizing your next level self, because anything that you can really clearly paint a picture of in your mind, you can have in your reality. So I know this is going to get a little bit like out there, but like every future, there's so many potentials in your life of what you could be. And according to quantum physics, all of those versions of you already exist. So it's just a matter of like, what are you going to attract into your current reality? So visualize, I mean, anything that you can visualize, you can have. If you believe it and you cultivate that feeling of what it feels like to be that next level version of yourself that has the health, the wealth, the relationship, the clients, the business, whatever it is that you want. So I really recommend visualization. I do have a guided visualization on my podcast as well, if you haven't listened to that. Okay. And then tip number 10, this is my last one. And this is actually not something that I thought of. I heard about this concept from Lacey Phillips. And it's the idea of an expander. So finding somebody, I think it's really easy to do this online because you can really kind of like check somebody out and what they're doing in their life based on like their Instagram profile, right? So find somebody that you really look up to that has something that you want, whether that is the success, the money, the lifestyle. Maybe they're traveling the world and that's what you want to do, something like that. And somebody who you perceive to be maybe a couple steps ahead of where you are and you want to get there, and look at them as kind of the example of what is possible for you. If they can do it, you can do it. And having somebody in your mind or in your life that is an expander, it's even more effective if you can know this person in person. But if you can like be around them in person and not just like on Instagram, but that works too. It kind of tells your subconscious mind that is possible for you. Because going back to that $100,000 a month example, if the thing that you want, if you've never done it before, your subconscious mind is a little bit kind of like, I don't know. That's like, I'm not comfortable with that because I've never done that before. But an expander is somebody who basically is telling your subconscious mind, like, look, it's possible because they did it, which means I can do it too. So definitely try that out. Let me know in the chat right now who some of your expanders are. And if you guys are familiar with that, because it's something that I love, I just think is so cool. And reframing it from being like, because I know a lot of times this is the thing too. If you look at somebody on Instagram and you have this kind of like negative thoughts, and I've totally done this before, these thoughts of like, oh, like, why are they successful or why are they at this point in their life, but like I'm not yet. That's a total limiting negative mindset belief. So if you can switch that from why are they there and I'm here to, oh my gosh, like look at what they are doing, that means it's possible for me. Let them be the example of what is possible for you. Okay. So those are my 10 tips. That kind of wraps up the mindset, money, manifestation side of things. Now we're going to get more into the strategy side of things. So let me know in the chat who either has a business that they are struggling to monetize. Let me know kind of where you're at. It's totally okay if you're on this right now and you don't have a business yet, but you kind of like, you have something that you're passionate about and you're kind of like, is there a way that I could turn this into a business? Because I would love to quit my 9-to-5 job. I've been there. Let me be the example for you that it is possible. Okay. This is what I'm going to talk about. I'm even going to talk about like, if you haven't started a business yet, kind of where to start when it comes to thinking of your business idea and step by step, like where to focus your energy. So again, get your notes out because I'm going to be walking like step by step. This is what to do in what order if you want to start your business, like based on what I've learned from starting from zero and what I would go back and do again. And what I would not do after now, like becoming over $500,000 business in less than 2 years. I've definitely learned a lot, especially like I started at zero. And I know the feeling if that's where you are right now. I get it. Okay. So I'm going to tell you exactly just what I've learned and what I would do. Okay, cool. Emma says she has a business idea that she's struggling to launch, get off the ground. Thinking about it. 1 year in, not monetizing yet. Awesome. Yeah. So even if you have a business right now, but maybe it's not providing a full-time income, that like all of these strategies are really going to help you. And thank you, by the way, to everyone who said that I am their expander. That means a lot. And I'm going to go back through all of that, all the questions and everything at the end. So leave them in the chat if you have them. Okay. Gosh, I'm talking so much. I'm getting thirsty. Okay, so in order of priority, so let's start first with if you're still struggling with your business idea. The best way to think about this, I think, is looking at your business idea, not just of like, what are you passionate about? Because that obviously is important, but you also have to think about, I like to look at it as like, what is a win-win-win? Meaning, what is a win for you? What is going to be fulfilling for you? what is going to be a win for the people that you're helping? What is going to provide a service to them that they're looking for, that's needed, that helps the world, whatever. And what is also going to be a win for your bank account? What is going to make you money? So again, if you wanted to write those things down, what is a win for you in terms of fulfillment? What is a win for them in terms of a service that you're providing them? And what is a win for your bank account? Because we want to monetize. And now we know that like, it's not bad to want money. It doesn't make you a greedy or a bad person. Everybody needs money. It's a neutral resource, right? Okay. So you can think about it that way. What passions and skills do you have? And what does the world need? But you can also think about it in a way of like, pretend that you are your own ideal client avatar. I like to call this your unicorn because it just makes it a lot more exciting. I feel like ideal client avatar is like so like businessman, and I'm like clearly not that. So what did you, if you are your own unicorn, what did you need maybe 2 years ago, a couple years ago, before you knew what you know now? What was a resource? What was information? What was a service that you would have paid for because you were that desperate and that you really wanted it? You can let me know in the chat right now if you have ideas that are coming up, because I think that truly is the best and most effective way to look at like something that is going to be a good business idea. And that's the thing too, is like a lot of times people are like, well, I don't want to get too specific because I don't want to turn people off. And I get it. I've felt that way before too, but the most effective thing that you can do when you're starting out and you're trying to choose a business idea, and write this down because it's important, is like pretend like you're talking to one person. One person. Don't try and reach a lot of people. Try and think of one specific person. A lot of times that person that you want to talk to is you a couple years ago. So think about that. Another way to look at this too is try and think about like what your ideal day would look like. And this is going to help you structure the rest of your business in terms of like, so when I get to a little bit later in this training, when I talk about 5 ways to make money online, that don't include online courses, figuring out what you want your day to look like is going to help you figure out what kinds of paid offerings, you're going to want to have in your business. So like, do you see yourself, maybe you're thinking right now, like you want to have one-on-one clients. Do you see yourself renting out office space and, you know, showing up from 8 to 5 to see clients back to back? Or does that sound exhausting to you? Or would you rather be like, for those of you who are new to my story, I traveled the world for the last year and a half, which was really cool. It was amazing. Traveled so many different places. And from the beginning, I knew that like I wanted that type of freedom in my life. So there was no way that I was going to be able to be taking clients all day because like the time zone changes and the traveling, there's just no way. I wanted to figure out a way that like I could make money while I was traveling and work smarter, but not necessarily harder, because I wanted to like have fun and travel. And, you know, it's like not that I didn't want to be working, but like I didn't want to be working 9 to 5 because then you might as well just have a regular job, right? But some people really do like having one-on-one clients and having that in-person interaction. So just think about that. Think about how your ideal day would be structured. And that can really help you. So maybe just write that down, because we're going to get to the ways to make money, and that'll kind of help you pinpoint what is going to be best for you. Okay. So now in terms of once you have like hopefully some ideas of what your business is going to be, now I'm going to talk about like order of priority. Like, do you start with Instagram? Do you start a YouTube channel? Do you make a course? This is what I would do again, if I was going back and starting from zero, didn't have a budget for ads or anything like that. This is the order of priority if I was like restarting my business. My voice just cracked. First, okay, so the very first thing, so get your notes ready. And again, if you have questions, leave them in the chat. Okay, first thing I would do priority is to get my website set up. But don't let this scare you away, because I know a lot of you, if you're a perfectionist, you're like, oh my gosh, do I need to hire a designer? It's going to take me so long to build out a website. All I mean by setting up a website is at least just get like a landing page done. And so this is something I actually teach how to do in my Digital Nomad Nutritionist course, is like, just get the simple landing page set up so you can start sending people to your email list, which is my second tip, but I'll get to that in a second. So you can start sending traffic there while you build out the rest of your website, so that you don't have to like create an entire About Me page and a resources page and a blog and all of that. Just the one simple page will take you like less than 30 minutes. Super easy, super quick. Okay. Then next most important thing is you want to create some sort of free resource to entice people to sign up for your email list. So an email list could be MailChimp is free, but I really like ConvertKit. That's my choice. But again, there are free options out there. This could be something like a PDF. It could be a video. It could be an audio resource, a cheat sheet, a template. There are so many different options. Again, these are things I go over more in depth in my courses, but something that's going to entice. Remember, you're speaking to one person, likely yourself a couple years ago. What is a free resource? And this doesn't have to be really in depth. It doesn't have to take you weeks to make it. It can be, something that's really digestible and quick and a quick win for your audience that you can give away to them for free in exchange for them getting onto your email list. Because this is the thing. Social media, which I'm going to talk about in a second, is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love social media. I love Instagram. But we don't own those platforms. So that's why the first two most important things are your website, because that's something that you own and you have control over, and your email list. So even if you are getting people, maybe you find them from Instagram and they're your followers, if the algorithm changes, like they potentially are going to stop seeing things that you post. So that's why you want to get those people onto your email list. And that's a really quick way to do it, is by setting up that landing page and then giving them some sort of freebie. Okay. Again, questions, leave them in the chat. And okay, so then after you have those two things kind of squared away, because I think those are the two most important, the third thing, I do think it is important to pick a social media platform that you enjoy. That's key, because if you don't enjoy it, it feels like a struggle for you to be on there. If you hate it, this is kind of how I feel about Facebook, honestly. You're probably not going to be creating a lot of consistent content on there. And also, you guys, when I say social media, this does not mean you need to be on every single platform. It means pick one platform in addition to your email list. So I really think that and a podcast isn't considered social media, but I think that would also take the place of social media. So something like YouTube and podcasting, or a blog. I think a blog is obviously not social media either, but those three things I think are probably the most effective. A place that you own, but also, I mean, if you prefer, let's say, Instagram, which honestly is my preference. Sorry, totally lost my train of thought again. So if you pick whatever social media platform you pick, as long as you pick one that you feel comfortable that you can create consistent content. And when I say consistent content, I just mean like you're at least showing up weekly and providing some sort of information. It's even like, the benefit of Instagram, actually, I think, is that not only is it totally like applicable to be creating really good content on there, but it's also normal and really effective place to kind of get people to know you, like show people insight into your life and what you're doing. And that builds like instant connection with your audience, which is really important when it comes to sales. Okay. So the other thing about social media too, is that when you are, say you're doing YouTube or Instagram, when you are creating that consistent content on there, you always want to have some sort of call to action. So a call to action is like, you're telling people to, like this, when I was on Instagram, if you found me on there, or wherever else you heard about this training, the call to action was, use this link to sign up for my free training. Or a call to action could be like, click the link in my bio to download my free ebook or my free guide or whatever. Because that's the way that you're going to send people over to your landing page and get them on your email list. So it's kind of like a flow chart. There's like, it's maybe your audience finds you on social media, and then you're giving them a call to action so that they go over to your website and get onto your email list. And then that is where then the next part comes in. Actually, it's not this one, but it's the next one, when you're actually selling them on your paid offer. So it can be pretty quick. I know this sounds like a lot of steps, but it actually can be really quick. And once you get it all going, it is very effective. It works really well. And it's how you're going to be able to start creating consistent revenue and income in your business. So wait until my last tip, because that's where I'm talking about like the actual way that you're monetizing. Okay. Tip number 4. For what I would do if I was starting from zero and I had no audience, obviously all those other things are important, but you're probably wondering like, well, if I don't have an audience already, if I'm starting from zero, like where are those people going to come from, right? Let me know in the chat. Give me like yeah, that's me. If you had that exact same thought. This is what I would do, like my life depended on it, if I was starting again with zero audience. And that is networking. And that does not mean like going to in-person networking events, because that sounds horrible to me. I'm definitely a hermit. So I prefer networking. And if you want to have an online business, that's totally fine. This is perfect for you. Networking online. And so what I mean by this is, once you start building your business, start creating relationships online with other people, and not in the sense of like, what can they give me, but like, how can you guys be mutually beneficial to each other? So a really good example of this, and why recently I've realized that podcasting is like such a cool platform, is that it's you're creating this platform and asking other people, other experts to come on. And a lot of times, even if they are say they have a way bigger audience than you do, you're providing the platform for them. You are positioning them as an expert. So they're going to be like, hell yeah, I'll come on your podcast, because it just gives them one more place to be exposed to new audiences. But also, you are going to be exposed to their audience. So even if you don't have a podcast, that's fine too. You can do another way to do this would be like free challenges. So a lot of people do free challenges inside like Facebook groups, Instagram takeovers. Instagram takeover is like you and somebody else like take over each other's Instagrams and maybe do Instagram stories for the day or Instagram live. The purpose of this networking is you're leveraging the other person's audience to get in front of new people and share your value, share your personality, share your uniqueness, share your point of view with them, so that they then get into your audience. Another idea would be writing for publications or guest posting. So if you're more of like a blogger, you could reach out to other blogs that you feel like are a good fit for your brand and be like, hey, would you be interested in me writing a guest post for you? This works really well, because a lot of times people who have built up their blog, they're at the point where they're pretty busy and they don't have a lot of time to be blogging. So like somebody who's a perfect fit for them, reaching out and saying like, hey, can I take away some of the work off your plate and write a guest post for you? They're going to be like, yeah. But obviously a key to being successful at this is making sure that the places that you are pitching are really in alignment with them. So you're not just, cold emailing everybody under the sun. You're making sure you're doing your research and making sure you feel like it really is a good match for both of you. And essentially this comes down to like also being your own publicist. So if you guys know, like a year or so ago, I got published in Forbes for my business, which is really, really cool. But the way that I did that was not just like sitting around, and even though manifestation does work, I wasn't just like sitting around hoping that happened. I went kind of undercover and searched for contributors to Forbes who wrote similar articles than the one that like I wanted to be published for. And I wrote to them and told them my story and said like, hey, I think I would be a really interesting pitch for you. You really have to be like your own biggest cheerleader and your own biggest fan, and pitch places, being specific about who you pitch, because it's not just about like DMing a bunch of random people, making sure that their message is in alignment with yours and you feel like you could offer them something. So that is a huge, huge way to get in front of more people if you don't have a budget for ads yet. Because I know I definitely did not have a budget for ads when I first started out. And to be quite honest, I still don't really think I've done a lot of Facebook ads, but I still think that like the people that you get in front of when you're doing more organic forms of like building your audience, say like a free challenge or a podcast or something like that, they're going to be so much more invested in who you are than if they are just to find you on an ad. Not that doesn't work, because sometimes it can, but okay. On to tip number 5. And this is 5 ways to start generating money in your online business that don't include online courses or MLMs. And I just have to do a caveat and say that online courses I think are just like the best. But if you don't want to invest, the time and energy yet in an online course, I totally hear you. So here are some other ideas. Number 1 is ads. So I know that like has a bad connotation, but just hear me out for just a second. Ads, and when I say ads, I mean like you can put relevant ads to your audience on your website once you get it going. You can also enable them on your YouTube videos if you've reached a certain level of views. I think it's 1,000 views. There's a certain amount of watch time you have to hit before you can enable ads, but that's basically like every time you make a YouTube video, like the ads will play before somebody can watch your video. And that's basically across the board. Like every YouTube video pretty much has that. So people won't be annoyed if they want to watch your video, they'll watch the ad. And then you make ad revenue off of that. You can also do ads on a podcast if you have a podcast. So if you guys have listened to my podcast, there is a way to enable like ad sponsorships. But what I do, because I have my own paid offers, is that I record my own ads for my podcast. And so I like send people to my own offerings from the podcast, if that makes sense. So the ads themselves on my podcast aren't necessarily making money, but they are making money in an indirect way, because then people hear those ads and then they go over and buy my courses from hearing that. So just a couple ideas about ads. So the next way to make money online that is not a course is any sort of done for you content, or like this could even be an ebook. And also make sure you're writing down these ideas if you want to keep them too. So things like recipes, that's kind of like a done for you type of thing. And what I mean done for you is that like this is available ideally on your website for somebody to buy in the middle of the night when you're sleeping, and you don't have to do anything. You don't have to lift a finger. They are paying you. The money is entering your PayPal or your Stripe account or whatever, and you don't have to do anything. That's ideal. And that's like how you start generating passive income. So this could be like recipes, meal plans, macros, even let's say you aren't in the nutrition world, something like design templates if you're a graphic designer, stock photos or stock video if you're a photographer or videographer, email templates, grocery lists, any sort of low priced offer, similar to, it could also be an ebook that's all hands off for you once you've created it. That is a really great way to kind of just like dip your toe in the online business world without diving into a course yet. The next idea is, which I've just recently really gotten into because let me know if this is true for anybody else, but if you, so the third way to make money is creating an Amazon store. So basically, if you do a lot of like Instagram stories or even podcasts or YouTube or blogging, and you show into your daily life, a lot of times you're going to get questions about like, oh, where did you get that? Where did you get that shirt? Where did you get the chapstick that is in every single Instagram story that you do? I'm obsessed with chapstick. Things like that. People want the link. So if you find yourself already telling people like where you got things, you might as well get a little kickback from that, right? So you can create an Amazon store linking to the things that you love, and you're not going to make, a ton of money off of each sale, but it is a way, again, to start making money off of the things that you're promoting anyways. A couple other ideas for this could be like, I know Thrive Market does a similar thing. So if you're more of like a nutritionist and you're always talking about foods that you love or supplements or things like that. Also, if you're more of like a fashion person, you could do Like to Know It. I think that's another one where you can link to like your outfits and you will get commission off of every person that then buys through your store. So if you don't have your own paid offer, your own course or anything like that, those are really, really good ideas. Okay. So next idea, and this one is like probably the easiest to kind of like get going, especially if you already have any sort of like certification or qualification, would be one-on-one clients. Again, if you don't want to like be seeing one-on-one clients all day long, this maybe isn't a super long-term or scalable strategy, but it is also pretty easy. Like say you just graduated from the Nutritional Therapy Association, you can pretty much start taking one-on-one clients right away. Again, it's a good way to gain experience. It's not always the most scalable in terms of like, you're still going to have to be trading time for dollars, but it is a good way to gain experience, and it is quick and easy to set up. Again, like you want to have it easy for the person to sign up with you. Another kind of idea, and if you guys follow me, you've probably seen this. I haven't recently because I'm like booked out, but doing it in a different way. So I stopped doing one-on-one clients because I couldn't really commit to like following a certain time schedule. Like I don't want to block out an hour on Thursday because I don't know what I'm going to want to do on Thursday. I'm like just kind of that fly by the seat of my pants type person. But what I've done, which works really well, and it can be lower cost as well, is Voxer. If you guys are aware of Voxer, it's like a walkie-talkie app. So I'll have my one-on-one clients sign up for like a membership with me where they can send me a Voxer voice message, and I will respond to them within 24 hours, and they can Vox me whenever they want. So it's kind of more like a 5 minutes here and there type of thing versus like we're scheduling out an hour to talk straight through. It's more like a let me ask you this question type of thing. Okay. Awesome. Okay. And then the very last one that I also have gotten really interested in lately because it is so fun and cool and it's such an easy way to like help people and provide value on a reoccurring basis. And that is a membership site. So again, this can be really cool. My membership site is daily prompts to give you an idea or inspiration on like what to post on social media. But you could also do, if you're like a nutritionist, this could be meal plans that change up once a month, grocery lists, really anything that is going to be like new content that you can keep updating and keep changing every month so that people are constantly getting access to new content. Because again, memberships are awesome because they're low cost. So people can work with you for a really low cost, but also you're making reoccurring passive income, which is really, really exciting. Okay. So let me know which of those, if you guys have tried any of those, if you have any questions on those, what you're most interested in, what you think is going to be best to fit your lifestyle. You can also, like me at this point, and by the way, don't get overwhelmed. I've said like, oh yeah, I do all these things, but I've been in business now for a couple years. So I've slowly added these on. Don't think that you need to do all of them at once because that's going to feel really overwhelming. It's like little baby steps. You can get a long way. Like I said, in 2 years, I've gotten to this place of like over $500,000 in business revenue. That did not happen overnight. It was every single day taking a little bit of action and taking a little baby step. And so even in 2 years, like you think about that's huge, but this is like totally possible for you if you commit to just taking a little bit of action every single day. Okay. So you guys, I want to just remind you why you showed up here today, right? You are ready to get over your money blocks, to call in the cash money that you desire and that now you realize does not make you a bad person, just makes you like more able to live your best life, right? You're ready to monetize your business. You want to call in the cash money like a high vibe queen, and you are done feeling, you're feeling lost and you aren't sure how to build the empire of your dreams, where to prioritize your time, and how to actually focus on start making money. So hopefully the tips that I gave you today make you feel a little bit more equipped to get going. But if you're still kind of like, Amy, I need the step-by-step, like show me exactly how to monetize and how to set this up. Show me the step-by-step, how to set up my website, how to connect all these things, how to grow my Instagram. Okay. Tell me, give me a hell yeah in the chat if you're like, yes, I'm ready. I want that. I want a business that is a win-win-win. Fulfillment, money, helping the world. That's like what we all want, right? That's the dream. Okay. So drum roll, please. My most popular online course. I don't know why. I don't even know if this is set up to be speaking in here, but this is where I podcast from. So I'm like used to being like this. My most popular online course, Digital Nomad Nutritionist, is launching again. It's live right now at a special price because I'm about to add a bunch of new updates. And once I do that, the price is going to go up. So when you enroll like right now, you are grandfathered into all of those future updates. So Digital Nomad Nutritionist is the step-by-step blueprint for creating a profitable, authentic online business that allows you the freedom to work from wherever, whenever. Give me a little hell yeah in the chat if you've heard of the course before, or maybe you're in it already. And FYI, even though it says nutritionist in the name, it's totally okay if you're not a nutritionist. This is really for anybody who wants to build a business online that allows them freedom to work from wherever, pursue their passions. And I'm going to help you figure out what that profitable business idea is going to be. And for the next 48 hours only after watching this training, I have a really special bonus offer for you guys. You're definitely going to want to stay till the end to learn what that is. So right now, I'm going to kind of go through the course content for you and show you what all of that good stuff is about. So hang on just a second. I am going to pull up my notes. Okay, so hang on while I switch over to show you what the course looks like once you are enrolled. Okay, so here's what it looks like when you are enrolled in the course. I'm gonna get my notes so I can walk you through this. So the welcome module, which is going to be the first module of the course, I'm going to be covering some of the basics about starting a business online. So this is going to be things like taxes, LLCs versus S corps, liability, disclaimers, all of those kind of like unsexy, unexciting things about owning an online business, but they are important. So I do want to give you guys some info on that. Module 1, and again, you guys, if you have questions, please leave them in the chat, and I promise I will get to those at the end of the training. So in module 1, we're going to be covering everything you need to know about making money online. So I'm going to be teaching you how to determine your profitable business idea, how to narrow down your niche. I know like everybody has so many questions about this, so don't worry, I'm going to help you with that. Personal and visual branding without a designer. So you don't need a designer. I'm going to teach you how to do this all yourself, how to attract a loyal audience, and even how to fail at online business. So this module is going to be super, super juicy. Module 2 is going to be all about blogging and email marketing. So I talked about that a little bit before, but I'm going to be walking you through exactly how to do it. I'm going to be sharing how to kind of organize your website so that it's the most user-friendly. And again, so that people can be paying you, maybe even like in your sleep, because that's the dream, right? But making it really easy for people that want to work with you. I'm going to be talking about blogging and SEO. So SEO is search engine optimization, which basically just means like if somebody's searching in Google for something that you offer, you want to show up first, right? So I'm going to teach you how to do that. Free versus paid content. So what kind of content to give away for free in your opt-ins versus what to be charging people for. I'm going to be talking about your online business secret money-making weapon and how to set up all of your systems in your business. So this is website, email list, your paid offer to work together seamlessly so that you can be making money and growing your audience, even if you're checked out for a couple days, even if you're traveling the world, doing whatever you want, going on vacation, because that's kind of like the key to scaling, right? So I'm also including video tutorials, like I said, how to connect your website to your email software. Because I know if you guys are not, I am the first to say I'm not a naturally tech savvy person. At least I wasn't when I started my business. I needed like the step-by-step video tutorial on how to do everything. So that's what I'm giving to you guys. One sec, gotta drink some water, stay hydrated. Hopefully everybody else is staying hydrated as well. Okay. The next module is all about how to use social media to grow your online business and the best practices to reach the most amount of people for free. So I'm going to be talking about, and like I said, I better scroll down here. There we go. Like I said, you do not need to be on every single social media platform, but there is a different lesson for Instagram, Facebook, Facebook Live, Pinterest, and YouTube, which is a new addition. So you can kind of decide like which one you're the most drawn to, and then you can learn how to optimize it. Module 4 is going to be all about your online business money-making strategy. And again, what the most viable options for your business are. So again, like what you want your paid offer to be. Just lost my place. Oh, and even a 1-month launch plan. So if you guys have ever seen me launch anything, any of my courses, any of my paid offers, there's a really strategic way that I go about doing this in terms of like what I do on social media, what I do in my live trainings, what I do in my email sequences. And I'm kind of giving this all to you so that you can have a 1-month launch plan and know exactly what to do. I'm also going to be, this is a new lesson actually that I just added, which is how to price your services. Because again, this all goes back to money mindset, right? No more giving away free advice. You want to make sure that you are charging a fair amount for your audience, but also so that you are compensated well for your time and effort, because your advice, your knowledge, your expertise is really, really valuable. And then module 5 is a bonus module that has lessons from how to choose a business name, using Facebook groups, Instagram stories, and more on my growth strategies. So you guys know how I was talking about like I would network like it was my full-time job if I was starting over again. I'm going to be talking more about that. And in addition to that, how to create viral content. So how to create a piece of content, whether that is a blog post, a YouTube video, whatever, that's going to reach hundreds of thousands of people, hopefully. Can't guarantee that. But like if you follow me on YouTube, some of my videos have reached over 500,000 people, which is insane, right? So I'm going to be teaching you guys my best strategies for that, because they continue to, the cool thing about that is they continue to bring new people to your audience day in and day out for years and years to come without you having to do any extra work, which is cool. All right. Okay. I'm so excited for you guys. And so after the course is complete, you're going to have a personal brand and business, a niche to stand out online and attract the right type of audience, a marketing strategy, a website, email list, social media strategy that work together seamlessly to bring in more clients. You're going to create an income and an impact because, again, what I said, win, win, win. You want to make money, you want to be fulfilled, and you want to help people and help the world, right? Okay, cool. So listen up, you guys. I have a very special offer for you. Let me just link to it in the chat. Hang on just a second. This is hard to do when I'm not just... Okay. So for the next 48 hours only, you are going to get $200 off the price of the course. But again, that's for the next 48 hours only. So you can, to get that offer, if you're watching on a desktop, you'll see there's like a little link now that'll say like, I'm ready. So you can click there. You can also go to the URL bit.ly /wealthyworthywild, all caps. And I will link to this in the chat as well in just a couple of seconds. Again, that is bit.ly /wealthyworthywild, all caps, or you can click the link that you should see. If you're watching from a desktop, there's a little link to join. But wait, before you click over there, there's still more. So if you are one of the first 25 people, and maybe I'll put this back on my face now since I'm just talking to you. If you are one of the first 25 people to take advantage of this offer, you are also going to get my Instapreneur course completely for free. And that course is a $497 value. But if you're one of the first 25 people to grab the DNN offer for $200 off, you're also going to get that Instapreneur course for free. So I'm going to show you into Instapreneur for those of you who are interested in that one. But basically, Instapreneur is my step-by-step course for gaining loyal followers, increasing engagement, standing out from the crowd, and monetizing your business, all using Instagram, because what I've learned is that everybody wants to grow on Instagram, right? It's like we can learn all day long that we need to start an email list and a website and a course, but everybody still wants to know how to grow on Instagram. So you're going to get that course entirely for free if you are one of the first 25 people to enroll using the link that I just mentioned, which actually I am going to put into the chat right now for those of you who want to take action on it. Hang on just a second. And then I'm going to go through all of the modules of the Instapreneur course. So if you're curious what that entails, what you're going to get with that course, that's going to be completely for free. Just hang on for 1 second. I am going to put the link. And also, can't do two things at once. When you click this link, the coupon code for $200 off is already applied. And as soon as if you're one of the first 25 people who clicks it and you enroll, you will be automatically enrolled in Instapreneur within the next hour or two. So don't fret. It might not be immediate, but as long as you're one of the first 25 people, and it should show you how many spots are left when you go to the sales page, you will get that course as well. So you're going to get both courses. Those two courses, Digital Nomad Nutritionist and Instapreneur, combined full price is almost $1,200, but you are getting them both for $497 when you click that link. So it's at the top of I'm not actually sure what it looks like to you, but let me know if you can't find it, okay? Okay, so now I'm going to go through real quick. I'm going to go through the Instapreneur content. Again, if you have questions, leave them in. Morgan, I see your question. I'm going to get to it in just a second. I'm just going to go through the Instapreneur content real quick. Okay, so here is Instapreneur. Here we go. So module 1 is all about niche marketing. And I'm also, this first lesson right here is all about your why with Instagram and like what you're trying to do there, because that's important. So we're going to be talking about niche marketing, how and why having a niche, I always struggle with how to say that word, a niche account is the most powerful thing you can do to expand your reach on Instagram. I'm going to help you identify your unique brand messaging, visual and personal branding, again, without a designer, and why you should approach your Instagram strategy as an entrepreneur. I'm also going to go through personal and business accounts and which one's going to be right for you. That's a really common question that I get. Okay, module 2 is all about optimizing your Instagram account to reach more of the right people. So this means an in-depth look at overhauling your bio, how to increase conversions onto your email list, like I talked about before, that's really important, how to get more people into your paid offerings, how to take and edit photos beautifully, all from your iPhone, so you don't need to have a fancy camera, how to plan and organize your feed so that it all looks cohesive. I'm definitely not about like perfection, but I think it still matters that it looks cohesive and at least like on brand, right? That's really important. I'm going to be talking all about how to write engaging captions that connect with your audience, and an entire lesson on hashtags, including recommendations for how many to use, which ones to use, and where to put them, depending on the audience that you are trying to attract. Okay, module 3, Instagram growth hacks. So this is the longest module of the course and talks primarily about the different growth hacks. So basically my top tips for how to grow your account full of the right people. And by the right people, I mean your unicorn, the people that are eventually going to enroll in your paid offers, your courses, things like that. It also teaches you where to find your ideal audience. So you know, you're no longer just like putting out a post and like hoping that people come to you. It's actually teaching you some strategies of like how to go out and get them and where to find them. It also teaches you, this lesson is going to also teach you how to leverage the algorithm, understand the algorithm updates and use it to your advantage. Also, I'm going to be teaching you how to create epic Instagram stories that really engage with your audience. And you can also use them to promote your services, your courses, your offers, things like that. Oh, and then this is a new bonus too, how to be great on camera, how to feel comfortable on camera. If you've never been on camera before, give me a that's me in the chat if you feel uncomfortable on camera still. You're definitely not alone. Okay. Going through the rest of this real quick, and then I will get to the questions. So module 4 is all about creating the long-term strategy behind using Instagram as an entrepreneur. It's all about turning followers into potential clients and customers. And that's totally fine if you don't have a paid offer yet. I'm still going to teach you how to use this to your advantage. And then also other ways to monetize your Instagram account if you don't have a paid offer yet. So if you're like, I don't have a paid offer yet, don't worry. This is still going to teach you how to leverage Instagram as a business. So that's really, really exciting. And then I'm not going to go through all of these tutorials, but there's tons of Instagram tutorials in here. Branded Instagram stories, navigating multiple accounts, your bio, editing, all this kind of loop giveaways, so much good stuff in here. Okay, I'm going to click back. Yeah, Danielle, I hear you. Okay, turn screen share off. Okay, I'm back. So again, you guys, normally the digital nomad nutritionist, and I see your questions, so I'm going to get to them in a second. Yes. Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm just finding my spot on here. So let me just remind you about if you're one of the first 25 to enroll in the digital nomad nutritionist course, with that link that is bit.ly. You should see it. Let me know if you don't see it. It's bit.ly/wealthyworthywild. Which is the name of my podcast, by the way. The $200 off promo for the digital nomad course is already applied. And then you will automatically, if you're one of the first 25 to claim it, you will automatically in the next hour or two get added to the Instapreneur course. And if you aren't sure if you are one of the first 25, you can still go to that link and you can chat with me and my team on the sales page. So just feel free to go over there. If you have any questions, you can chat with me. Okay, so I'm going to get into the questions right now. Looks like there's still like 50 of you on, which is awesome. Hey, Sherelle, what's up? This is so cool. Yeah, we used to play soccer together in Hawaii back in the day. Lauren, yes, if you are already in Digital Nomad, you will receive all of the updates for life. You never have to pay anything else. You will get all of the updates that I ever add, which is pretty cool. You're grandfathered in. And so that's the cool thing too. If you enroll right now, you're getting in at this, well, it's even cheaper than it normally is. It's $497. It's usually $697. You're getting in at a lower price. You're getting the Instapreneur course, and then you're also getting grandfathered into all of those future updates. Okay, Shelly is in it right now. Natalie's in it. Cool. Yes, Danielle. So it looks like we have a lot of DNN students on here right now. You're going to get all those updates. Okay. Danielle wants to know, can I talk more about my schedule and what it looks like to take action every day? Yeah, so this is the thing, and I've been talking about this a lot because I'm really interested in this like idea of obviously everybody's really different. I'm the type of person where I don't necessarily schedule what I'm going to do each day and like plan it out very far in advance. I'm really intuitive in the way that like, first of all, I just know that I'm really disciplined. So I'm always going to get what I need to get done. But in the same way, like I'm pretty intuitive. If I don't feel like something is fun or it's not making me excited that day, then I know that it's going to take me like 3 times as long to get it done. So then I'll push it off to the next day, if that makes sense. So it's kind of about knowing yourself and knowing what's going to help you be more effective, I guess. I love the quiz about the four tendencies. If you're familiar with that, it can really help you determine like what helps you stay accountable. So that's really interesting. Courtney says she loves the idea for Voxer. It works really well if you're somebody who wants to have one-on-one clients, but you don't want to stick to like a normal like book an hour session type of thing. It's very much like they can ask you questions whenever they want and you can answer them whenever you get time. Oh, cool. Marco Polo is like Voxer, but with video. That's awesome. Okay, I'm just looking through. Sorry if I have like a concerned look on my face. I'm just looking through the questions right now. Okay. So Samaza said, what if I need the service I want to create? What if I'm still at the point where I think you're saying like I think maybe what you're saying is like you want to be helping people who are really similar to you. Like you don't really feel like you are an authority yet. If that's the case, I feel like that's very common in a lot of health coaches. They feel like, well, you know, I'm not fully over my issues yet. So how am I supposed to help somebody? I think the main difference is as long as you have, maybe it's even experience just with yourself, something that you've overcome, something that you've learned, anything that's just even 1 to 2 steps ahead of the person that you're trying to help is enough. So don't feel like you need to be like the world's #1 expert on something before you can help people, because it's not true. Okay. Going through the questions. So many. Creating a course right now, but getting discouraged. Katie, tell me why you're discouraged. Struggling with perfectionism. Okay, let me just elaborate on that for a second, because I feel like perfectionism kills so many dreams. Okay, if you are a perfectionist right now, let me just be the example to you that things do not have to be perfect to be successful. If anything, your perfectionism is hurting you more than it's helping you. So I'm telling you, like, nothing is ever going, and that's the thing, nothing is ever going to be perfect. Like my website, no matter how many times I try and make it better, update it, change the colors, it's still never perfect. But the thing is that like, you just have to do it. You have to rip the Band-Aid off. Otherwise nothing's ever going to get accomplished. Okay. So let that just be inspiration to you. I hope that things do not have to be perfect. Most people, the things that you are noticing, that you're nitpicking, that you're thinking aren't right yet, most people won't even notice. So don't worry. Same thing with an online course. Yeah, like it's never going to be perfect. You're thinking it's not as good as you think it could be if you had more money. Like, do you mean that you could be outsourcing like the design, things like that? If so, I would make it as simple as possible. Like if you're feeling like you don't have very good design abilities, I would maybe, like, if you can't outsource the design and you feel really uncomfortable with your design abilities, can you make it just audio? Because that's really easy to do. And then you don't have to worry about it like not looking professional or not looking aesthetically pleasing. Try that out. Oh, another thing I want to mention about the Digital Nomad course is that it is, and Instapreneur, Digital Nomad is worth 5 continuing education credits and Instapreneur is worth 3. So for that price, you're also getting 8 continuing education credits from the NTA if you are a nutritional therapy practitioner or you're thinking about becoming one. So that's kind of a bonus too, right? Okay, cool. Valerie is a PhD student, but trying to create a blog that monetizes on the side. Awesome. Still not monetizing. Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm going back through. I don't see a lot of other questions. Okay, Danielle said, hey guys. Okay, when you had your nutrition courses, did you create them similar to your business courses now? Yeah, they're pretty much the same exact like style. So I would do slides and then record audio over them, and then I would have sort of anytime it was applicable, I would have like printable like worksheets or not meal plans because I didn't have any meal plans in there, but I had like a kind of like a food mood type of guide. Like I ate this and this is how I felt after. Okay. Sierra said, will email list to Empire be opening again? Yes. I'm not sure when, but Sierra, if you come over to the DNN, the Wealthy Worthy Wild link and chat with me on there, I can maybe hook you up with a little something. Okay. Morgan said, how long does it usually take people to work through the course, particularly digital nomad? This is a question I get asked a lot, and it's hard to answer because it really depends on the course itself. I will say is not super long. I purposely tried to make the videos like as full of content yet as short as possible because like, let me know if you guys are this way. Like you probably feel overwhelmed. Like there's so much stuff you're learning, but really the thing that's most important is that you go out and take action and do the thing. So I don't necessarily want you spending the next 3 months watching my course. I want you to be taking action on the content. So it's very much like this short video and then an action step of like, okay, now go do it. So it really just depends how long it takes you to set up, to complete the action steps. I would say on average, anywhere from like a couple weeks to a couple months. But again, a couple months would only be like if you are going through it really slowly. Do I still like Teachable for creating online courses? Yes, I love Teachable. I think it's the shit. I love going through it as a student. Like when I buy courses, I love when they're on Teachable because I think it's really easy to navigate. But I also love creating on Teachable because it's easy. Is DNN good for someone who isn't thinking about being an NTP or nutrition? Yes, Leslie, I'm sorry if I didn't make that more clear. So even though it says nutritionist in the name, it's for anybody who wants to build a business online, whether you're a nutritionist or not. So you don't have to be a nutritionist at all. You could be somebody who wants to just monetize their blog. You could be somebody who wants to start like a fashion channel. You could be a photographer. You could be really anybody who wants to start a business online. Yeah, you're welcome, Danielle. Emma, that is a good question. How do you determine what resource or information would work better as a guide versus what would work well as a course? Obviously, like a course is going to be a lot more in depth. So I would say something that's more like step by step. And also a course too, like a great idea for a course is something that's like a measurable outcome. So for example, like my online course about how to create a course, like at the end of it, you are going to learn how to create a course. Something that you can like really speak to the end result is something that's good for a course. Whereas a resource, maybe like an online business resource is like you're talking about a bunch of different stuff. That's not really like a measurable end result. I hope that answers your question. Okay. What other questions? Okay. Lauren, if you do you want to just put your question about email list to Empire? Do you want to just put it in here and I can answer it? And then awesome. Danielle says she's already in DNN. Yeah. So Lauren, let me know what, your email list to Empire question is. So I will just say, because now that I'm just thinking about it, I don't know what your email list to Empire question is, but if you are wanting to be in email list to Empire, since it is the same price normally as Digital Nomad, I will give you the same deal for email list to Empire, which is another course of mine, with the Instapreneur bundle. If you're one of the first 25, you'll just have to send me a message either by clicking over to that link, or you can email support. So I'll put in the support email too, if you want to do that. Lauren, maybe email me. I'm not sure if I understand your question exactly. Hold on just a sec. Okay, cool. Do you know when Online Course Academy might open again? I am not sure. Emma, are you on the, make sure you're on the VIP list for that, because then you'll be the first to know when it opens again. Okay, cool. Well, I hope you guys loved this training. It was really fun. It's definitely different than what I've done before if you've been on my other trainings. But I liked it. Let me know what you think. Do you like this style better? Or do you prefer like having the slides where you can visually see what I'm talking about rather than just my face? What do you guys prefer? Also, I hope you guys have a great evening. I am probably gonna, Sierra likes this better. Okay, cool. Good to know. Good to know. I'm glad to hear that, guys. I wouldn't be offended if you liked the other version better too. I just thought I would try something new. Okay, cool. So again, you guys, the deal, if you want me to remind you one more time, it's more personable. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Thanks, Marissa. So one last time, if you click the link, bit.ly/wealthyworthywild, all caps, you are going to get $200 off the digital nomad course. And also, if you're one of the first 25 to enroll, you're also going to get the Instapreneur course too. Okay. So let me know. You can always reach out to me if you come over to the sales page. You can also email me, support@rebelnutrition.com, and I will answer your questions there. Thank you guys so much. Thanks, Emma. Thanks, Danielle. Thanks, Courtney. Thanks, Sierra. Marissa. Who else did I not say? Samaza. Okay, cool. Well, I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks, Sherelle. Bye.